Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. We got a little NBA bit coming at you this morning. Sorry, we're multitasking right now, and it's very tough to talk and do this at the same time. But I think we're doing it. I hope everybody's off to a good start this week. What's going on? There we go. Now we're officially no longer multitasking. What's going on? Who do we have in the chat here this morning? We got Smoke Some from our guy Matic Auto. We got Denny Abdia and Dougie McBucket's birthday. That's right. Thank you, the common man. Sneeps is up in here. Shout out Sneeps, the legendary kid himself. Patty Coyne up there. We got Stubbs saying good morning. What's up, Stubbs? Ant is lucky. Jimmy went off post game last night. Otherwise, Ant would be the lead story today. Yeah, I didn't think Ant's comments were too crazy, honestly. I didn't think they were too nuts. I mean, I think well, actually, let's save it. We got Suda up in here in the chat this morning. Matic Auto, yeah, let's go. Do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, all the things. Hey, we have a busy day today, all right? We have a busy day, no messing around. Here's what you've got cooking the rest of the afternoon. So if you are a VIP member on the Elite Fantasy Hoops channel, the good news for you, daily show is back today. It's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or is it daily time? What are we at right now? Then 4 p.m., the 89 Cavs return. We get the Cavs coming back at you. At 5 p.m., we have SORARE NBA's Live Before Lock. And then at 7 p.m., we have Live After Dark. We got some good stuff. We've got some good stuff today. Thank you, Weisberg. Appreciate that. Shout out for the SORARE NBA Discord. But yeah, busy day this throughout the day. Full slate. That's right. Boston-based knows. Boston-based knows. Well, we're going to talk some basketball. We're going to talk some SORARE. We're going to talk some underdog. We're going to do it all. We're going to do it all, baby. But let's get started with the Jimmy Butler stuff, huh? Let's get started. Let me change the media assets here. We got to change them assets. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. And bingo, bango, bongo. There we go. Jimmy's joy. I'm going to pull up the box score just so we can take a look at the Miami games. Miami played the Pacers last night. Shout out Tyrese Halliburton, by the way. Breathing new life into the Indiana Pacers and his stats. So the Pacers kind of take it to the Heat last night. 128-115. You can see, I mean, look at these scores. They put up 38 in the first and 41 in the third, did the Indiana Pacers. But the real story was Jimmy, right? So Jimmy returned two nights ago, and played pretty piss poor basketball, was just kind of out there getting some exercise in. Last night, took 6 shots in 27 minutes, 9 points, 4 dimes. But it was a pretty uninspired 9-4, right? And I think if you watched any of that game, didn't play much of the fourth quarter. And all of that was fine and dandy, right? And then after the game, had some pretty illuminating comments. I'll actually pull up Worldwide Wob's Twitter here because he shared the video, and we want to support our guy Wob, right? But some pretty illuminating comments of just being like, yeah, man, I'm done here is essentially what he was saying. I am done. And so a couple of things happened. We had this clip post-game. We got this clip post-game here from our guy Wob. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully you guys can hear this all right.
We won't sit here and say that I don't play hard.
What will fix it? What do you want to see happen to fix it?
What do I want to see happen? I want to see me get my joy back from playing basketball. And wherever that may be, we'll find out here pretty soon. But I want to get my joy back. I'm happy here, off the court. But I want to be back to somewhat dominant. I want to hoop, and I want to help this team win. Right now, I'm not doing that.
Can you get your joy back here on the court?
Probably not.
So probably not going to get his joy back. And then right after that, Shams, just minutes later, reported that the Phoenix Suns are another team that Jimmy Butler's agent, Bernie Lee, has indicated league circles that the 6-time All-Star is open to. I'm sorry, this tweet was from forever ago, but what I thought was beautiful is the context. Jimmy Butler's agent has publicly stated these claims are unfounded and false, which is hilarious. Now I think we all owe Bernie an apology. But Shams an apology. However, then Jimmy Butler after the game had indicated that the Miami to the Heat, according to Windhorse, that he wants the team to trade him and is open to playing anywhere other than Miami. Anywhere other than Miami, which is hilarious. Now, anywhere other than Miami has some real like you just broke up with somebody and you're like, I just need to have anyone just to cleanse, right? And that's kind of what he's saying out there. By Jimmy Butler going out there and just saying, I'll play anywhere else. D Rose trying to get him back to Chicago. I think the Jimmy Butler stuff is fascinating from like a content perspective, because we get to talk about, ooh, where's he gonna go? Like, it gives us something to talk about. I do think, like, and maybe enough time passes between each stop where this ends poorly that we don't actually talk about like Jimmy, the teammate. And I, at what point do we start just being like, man, this is pretty selfish? Like, maybe I don't understand, or we don't understand what's going on behind the scenes enough to like have a good take on this. But I mean, he goes to Minnesota and then we're like, well, Cat is soft and Andrew Wiggins is a bad teammate. And that's why he had to do what he had to do to get out of there. And then he goes to Philly, and Philly basically chose Tobias Harris over him. And then he has a nice run at Miami, where he takes a underwhelming Miami Heat team to the finals, not once but twice. And now we're in this situation here. And I think there's probably two camps for Miami fans, where the Pat Riley's entering his Bill Belichick era a little bit, right? Where maybe he shouldn't be making these big time decisions. A lot of people are pointing to the moment last postseason where Pat Riley basically was like, he should shut his mouth. During the postseason, Jimmy was like, if I was there, we would have taken out Boston, something like that, basically saying these teams aren't shit. And then I guess he was mad about that. But I will say, like, if Jimmy, if he likes his teammates enough or at all, he's putting them in a pretty tough spot. And I don't know how many people saw the Tyler Hero clip after the game, but Tyler Hero, they had asked Tyler Hero like about the joy in the locker room, and Tyler's basically like, man, my vibe's fine. And I'm trying to like parse out what the issue is that really sent everything awry, because it is Jimmy, like, because Tyler Hero's numbers have been so inflated. This inflated makes it sound negative, because Tyler Hero's taken the jump that he has this year, and Jimmy's not been acting like the number one option on the court. I don't really understand. Let me catch up on the chat. Pool for Jimmy, who says, no, I don't know. I do not know. If that is what will happen, sure, we'll be sad to see Heat fans turn on Jimmy. Someone please pull on the receipts. Yeah, shout out Tyler. Well, I think Stan Loves is a big or anti-Pat Riley guy, so that might be part of the problem. The only Tyler Hero clip I watch involves Amin Thompson. There we go. And Bobby saying the thing is the Heat need to trade him for a bag of chips because Jimmy can't pick up his extension for next year and do nothing for $50 million. Yeah, I mean, or Miami could just say, no, dude, you were on the books anyway, so we'll just pay you to go home. That's what I don't know. It depends how vindictive Miami is going to be, because again, like you said, Jimmy, like what Jimmy said, he'll go play for any other team, right? But if you are another team that is not one of the destinations that he had initially singled out, how comfortable do you feel doing two things? One, giving up any sort of assets, knowing that he might not stay long-term, or just do the same thing that he's now done at 3 different locations. Are you willing to take on that money? Right. So not you have to give up assets and take on the money. And like a team that's not contending, I don't know why they would do that. And I know everybody was excited about Phoenix, but that means Bradley Beal has to be involved. Right. And I don't know if Miami's like, I guess they'd be like, fine, we'll take Bradley Beal over what we're getting from Jimmy right now. And obviously Phoenix is in a weird spot right now. I said this a couple of weeks ago. I don't really know what the right landing spot is, both like for team fit and that fits financially. I do think Detroit is like a little bit interesting. If he really will play for anybody, like Detroit has the ability to like have some money to move around. I don't think that Detroit would do that. I don't think Jimmy would be thrilled about going there, but I think that could be kind of fun. Common Man with a great comment. Too bad Jimmy doesn't go to Villanova, or didn't go to Villanova. So I don't really know. I don't really know what the right landing spot is. Maybe Houston is seeing the price tag go down after saying they were no longer interested in Jimmy Butler. And if the cost of Jimmy is going down, maybe there's an opportunity to buy low, as they say, and then it would make sense. I mean, we saw Golden State play Philly last night, and they looked really good. So maybe you're getting excited about the potential of the Warriors beefing up, but that means they're taking back Andrew Wiggins, which there's some real comedy in Andrew Wiggins being included in a Jimmy Butler deal. Dude, shut up, Boston base right there. Bang, love that, love that. Sign up for the VIPs, baby. Bobby saying Rockets are the perfect team for him. Weisberg in the chat saying not only does Beal have to be involved, but also has to agree to waive his no trade. Yeah, I'm sure the way things are going in Phoenix, Beal's probably like, send me to Miami, baby. So I don't really know what the right landing spot is. I feel like this is going to get worse before it gets better or resolved for that matter. I do think, yeah, like Bobby was saying, the Rockets. I mean, I do think Houston makes the most sense on the court. But again, I stand by what I said. Like, I think Houston needs to take the same approach the Oklahoma City Thunder took, and that is to just see what you have for a season. You know, let the postseason play itself out. See where the areas that need to be addressed before cutting bait too soon. Tesla said Riley should have kept those shut up comments behind closed doors. Real senior moment at his part. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but I don't disagree with that. But I also like, why is that such a damning thing that Jimmy is like, I can't play here anymore? Like, there was so much time, and I mean, again, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, behind the scenes. Like, maybe there was just no attempt to repair the relationship. And again, maybe this is Pat Riley just like slide. Maybe Pat Riley's about to start dating a 22-year-old and really lean into his Bill Belichick era, right? He goes and coaches like Florida Gulf Coast or something like that. Like that kind of feels like where we're heading with some of it. But it's kind of a bummer that this is the story in Miami and it's not just focused on Tyler Hero absolutely cooking. And then maybe just like making fun of Bam Adebayo for just like the lack of consistency. But it is kind of nuts. Again, if that's public, how toxic is it behind closed doors? Yeah, maybe it is. Bobby says Pat is trading his ass, even if he gets nothing. He did worse a guy like D Wade, if you remember. Yeah, I do remember. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, obviously Jimmy Butler impacts winning when he cares about his team and his teammates and his situation. So we'll have to, if he gets to a team that's like on the cusp, like I don't know even how they could make the Los Angeles Lakers work, but watched a lot of the Lakers last night. Again, it was against the Trailblazers, so you're not writing home about any of that. But somebody like that makes a big difference. Even Golden State, but again, Golden State would have to give up a lot just financially to make that work. But if he goes to a team like that, and I mean, listen, I know we were joking about the Detroit Pistons, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later tonight, or at 4 p.m. this afternoon with the 89 Cavs. But if somehow you put him next to our guy Cade,
Detroit basketball. Detroit basketball.
feel like that could be pretty fun. Oh, I forgot we were back in the other format there. There we go. All right, so that's the Jimmy's Joy stuff. I don't know. Weisberg says, does the Jimmy situation remind you of the Harden one a few years ago? I mean, I guess it's similar where he's like quiet / loud quitting on his team. Maybe the dynamics are a little bit different. I think the issue with like the collective bargaining agreement and teams that are hard capped and all that stuff, or aproned, excuse me. I think that like moving the piece makes it way more challenging than with James Harden. It felt like there were more suitors available, and now the difference between the Harden and the Butler situation. And I don't know how much truth there is to Jimmy saying he'll go play literally anywhere, but I do think that kind of changes the dynamics too, where he's saying like, I'll go anywhere. But Bernie Lee about to burn through his cell phone battery. You're not wrong. Do you still think he stays at Miami, or you change your mind? No, I mean, well, obviously this is escalated to there's part of me that thinks he stays at Miami and doesn't play again this season, which I think would be hilarious. Like if Pat Riley really wants to just be like, yeah, man, we'll pay you to stay away from the team right now, because maybe Miami's just like, hey, like we'll go with what we got, but we're not going to help you. Trade Jimmy to New Orleans. That would be pretty funny. It would also be hilarious if he like took New Orleans to the playoffs, which we know he can't do because New Orleans refuses to win basketball games. But I think that's it on Jimmy's Joy. Jimmy's Joy, incredible stuff. You know what the fans should do is vote him into the All-Star game. You want to get a little funky? Vote him right into the All-Star game. Bobby says Jimmy for Zion. You heard it here first. Well, I did hear the Bill Simmons podcast with Kirk Goldsberry, which was a lot of fun. Also, Bill Simmons coming up with this novel idea of talking positively about basketball. Why don't you check out Hoop Sense, brother? Which, by the way, new episode of Hoop Sense dropping in a couple of hours, I believe. We posted a couple of shorts reels, hashtag reels over on Instagram. So go check that out. I took an immediate L on LaMelo Ball, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but anyways, go check that out. Tesla says no cap or salary restrictions. Where do you think Jimmy's best fit for a contender would be? I think Jimmy on Houston would be hilarious. I think it would make a ton of sense right there. The team, the culture, playing for Ime Udoka, I think would make a lot of sense. I think the Lakers would be fun too. Like I actually would be. I would like to watch. Would like to watch that. Just finishing up the thumbnail. Wait, what did I do? Oh, gee, LOL. Sorry, it took me a second. Let's go talk about our guy Steph Curry, and then if you guys have more, if you have more Jimmy's Joy stuff, we can go back to that a little bit later. But man, Steph was cooking last night. I stayed up late for the basketball games because I had a couple of fun sweats going on, and I was just excited to be home. I was excited for Thursday night TNT to be back. No more Thursday night football, so all of a sudden TNT feels like they have their big cojones, and they were like, let's have some basketball on TNT. Also, man, Celtics fans, I got to tell you, you know what my new least favorite thing is? We'll go full screen for this. My new least favorite thing is people complaining about TNT. Like a lot of Celtics people that I follow who I like, they're like good follows. The TNT show was making fun of the Celtics Timberwolves game. There was a lot of chucking threes, right? And they were making fun of it. And then everybody I follow is like, oh, is this really going to be the halftime show? Is this really going to be it? We're really going to make fun of the game? Celtics fans, and Mike Weisberg included, you guys just want your team glazed 10 out of 10. And I get that there's something to be said for like having the people talk about the games to enjoy the games a little bit more. Here's the difference, at least in my opinion. TNT is very entertaining. I find them very funny. They have good vibes. I enjoy it a lot. So it's fine. It's fine, guys. You don't need them to be like, well, my favorite thing was when 3:32 left in the first quarter when they had a slip screen and they were running horns. You could see it because they were doing the motion. They were doing the play. They called it out. Like guys, just stop. Stop. The alternative is Stephen A. Smith and that Pixar character, the former GM over on ESPN doing it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the entertainment. It was great. It was great. But anyways, every Celtics person was like, oh, this is what's wrong. You want the ratings to be better? They should be out there. Oh, God, stop. Can't we do better than both? No, I actually think TNT is good. I don't think we can do better than TNT. I don't. They're like 6-minute segments. They're like 6 or 7-minute segments. Go listen to a podcast. Go to playback then. Why are you complaining about the halftime show when you are doing a playback stream? What's annoying. Anyways, that was fun. Fun yelling. Let's go to the Steph game though. I loved it. The Steph game was fun, man. Philly, this was the most 3 games in 4 nights of all time last night. The 3 games in 4 nights, the Sixers, I mean, I know Embiid only played 2 of those 3 games. Paul George played all 3 of them. Paul George, man, is off to a little bit of a funky start, if you ask me. Warriors win this one 139-105. You can see they outscore them 35-19 in the first. Then they outscore them 35-26 and 36-27. Steph was insane, though. Steph was hitting some tough shots, 8 for 8 from 3, 11 for 15 from the field, finished with 30 points and 10 dimes. Draymond even knocked down some shots. He went 15-7-6. Wiggins 15-7-4. You had Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder came out, knocked down 3 threes in the first 5 minutes of the game. He had 15-6. Mr. Come Buckets Kuminga had 25-5 off the bench. He continues to plant that for sale sign. The Warriors continue to be like, hey, you want Jonathan Kuminga? He's a 20-point-a-game scorer. sure. They throw that out there. Sixers look tired. The 76ers look tired. I don't think this is an indictment of Philly of not being able to win a game on the road or anything like that. I know they dropped a brutal game to the Sacramento Kings. They were on a nice little run there before the Kings game and then this game. So dropping 2 of their 3. But, I mean, you could just see, look at their starters. Paul George, minus 26. Embiid, minus 25. Maxey, minus 24. They just got cooked, and they looked tired. Embiid had 28 and 14. But it was like, I wouldn't say it was a spicy 28 and 14. I would call it a sleepy 28 and 14. He looked tired, man. Bending over, grabbing his knees a couple of times. But whatever. Got to the line 14 times. That was half of his points. Paul George, 19. Excuse me. 19 and 2, but didn't, again, like no assists, no steals, no blocks, 2 turnovers. You don't like that. So the Sixers now 13 and 19. So even though that they were, playing a little bit better, they're still 6 games under 500. The good news is that the rest of the East is not like looking too spicy. You have Miami, a mess, Detroit with a brutal injury with Jaden Ivey. Just tough stuff. But the Warriors now 1 game over 500. The rumblings that they will be ready to make another move here. And I think it was Reggie Miller last night on that call. He did a good job of, like, I know sometimes this gets annoying and he does it every time LeBron plays too. But there was something cool. Like when Steph goes on a run like that, Reggie just kept saying, like, appreciate this while we have it. I do. And maybe it's me turning 40 and just starting to feel old. But I am. It's just there's a special feeling that emotes when he cooks like that. And so it was pretty good to see Golden State go on that run. I still personally don't see the upside of this team in like a playoff format. Like I think there's clear tiers in the Western Conference, and they are not in the top one. So I don't even know if there's even if you throw Jimmy Butler in that mix, that means you're probably losing out on both Andrew Wiggins and Kuminga, I think, to make it work. So I don't think somebody like Jimmy Butler all of a sudden makes them better. Or that is a move they actually make. I think they probably do some moves around the edges, whether it's a big guy like a Jonas Valanciunas, or if they throw some more shit against the wall to get Walker Kessler. It is just like with how Brandon Podziemski has played this season. Now, granted, he didn't play last night, but to think about like the performance that Podgod has had, and how that was like the sticking point that they wouldn't move off him to get Lowry Markkanen. And it's a small sample size. Like Podziemski clearly showed some upside last season. And I think he just hit a sophomore slump, and it's a bummer for Golden State and for Podziemski. Obviously he wants to be playing better, but to just go back to that time around right before Lowry signed his extension and made it so he couldn't be traded this year. It's just the fact that Podziemski was the thing holding it up. And if you put Lowry on that team and remove Podziemski, woo. Bobby says it's Curry's fault we have the ugly basketball of people being 1 for 10 from the 3-point line and that bum shooting that this many not stars. Okay, Bobby, this is I believe you guys are trying to trigger me today when people say, listen, if you don't like the 3-point basketball, I get it. But you know what I don't like? Is that this idea that the game was so beautiful 15 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. Because like literally we gave DeRozan so much shit for being a long 2-point shooter. We're like, this is bad basketball. It's a bad shot. And now they step out, take more threes. And we're like, that sucks too. And then like when we do see close games, like if you go back to the NBA Cup where I can't remember how many 3-point attempts were taken in that OKC Houston game or in that OKC Bucks game, but that was played. Those 2 games were played like games in the early 2000s and late 90s, where it was dog fights, rock fights, whatever fight you want to call it. And everybody's like, oh, the product's bad. This is bad basketball. No shot making. Come on. What do we want? You know what we want? We want to be upset. That's what we want. We don't want people to dunk it. We don't want people to shoot threes. We don't want people to defend, but we don't want too much offense. What we want to do is be upset. And that's not at you, Bobby. That's at everybody. It's the aging out of the superstar. What's the aging out of the superstars, though? What is the aging out of we got all the superstars. What's left are copycats? What Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does this shit. What do you mean copycat? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does this shit. Wembanyama's 7'5" playing chess, throwing balls off the backboard and then between his legs and dunking it. We got Şengün doing this shit. You got Jokic, who looks like a 48-year-old dad at the YMCA. What copycats are we talking about? Oh, these takes are so bad. You guys, just watch the fucking games. Just watch the games. You're just telling me you're not watching the games. That's what you're telling me. We just listed like 5 other. We have Orlando Magic that is out there just slapping people. You have Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson's the closest thing to some sort of like 1995 point guard that we got out there that like gets to the foul line and then throws it up, right? You got Karl Anthony Towns doing stuff. Like, what are we talking about? You got Tom Thibodeau playing guys 55 minutes a game. And Wemby are unique. Yeah, so was LeBron James. So was Steph Curry. When you're saying we got aging out superstars that are copycats, those are unique guys. Yeah, this is wrong. Guys, yeah, NBA players are getting too tall. Coaches are wearing too many polos. I just disagree with this. I just think everyone needs to go to therapy because that's the problem. It's just more fun to tweet out something to be like, back in my, you know what this is? We all want to feel important. We want to feel like when our moment, that it was better than all of the other moments because it makes you feel like you were a part of a significant thing. And then the truth is, there's just like 1 or 2 of those important things that happened during all of those stretches. Whether it's Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 and then writing down 100, whether it's Bill Russell averaging 10 blocks a game and winning like 8 out of 10 championships, whether it's fucking Magic and Bird, whether it's Jordan, whether it's Kobe, which I can't believe I'm including him on this list, or Tim Duncan. Oh, did you guys miss the days of Tim Duncan? Is that what you miss? Is that what you miss? Tim Duncan doing his drop steps? Is that what got you rock hard? Is that what the blue chews happened? Oh, I just miss Tim Duncan. The mid guys and centers are shooting threes trying to be Curry. Yeah, just like Şengün and Jokic and Sabonis. Like, I mean, there's bigs that shoot threes because it's, man, I don't know. This is where I'm at. You guys got me distracted. This is Friday, baby. I had my caffeine. This morning. I got up early. That was fun, though. I enjoyed that. I know it seemed like I was yelling at a lot of you guys. Do you think Scotty deserves to be an all-star? You want to talk some all-stars? Let's talk some all-stars. I had one of the funniest takes. So yesterday, and again, the episode of Hoop Sense is coming out a little bit later today. We talked about like what we thought, and this is before the votes came out for all-stars. I thought, do you guys think LaMelo Ball should be an all-star? Let alone, do you think LaMelo Ball should be an all-star? Do you think he should be the top vote getter of the guards in the Eastern Conference? That seems crazy to me. And again, like all the pushback I got was like, well, the kids these days, the kids like LaMelo. But let me pull up the all-star votes here so we can take a look at it here. I don't know how well you can see this, so I will read it out. Let's do West first, the West side, if you will. Jokic, the leading vote getter, which is hilarious. I mean, he is the best player in the world right now, but he hates the All-Star game. So it's funny. It almost feels like punishment that we're sending him back there. But leading the front court, you got Joker, KD, LeBron, AD, Wembanyama, the Goon, J-Dub, Andrew Wiggins, Domantas Sabonis, and Triple J. From the guards, Shea, Luka, Steph, Kyrie, Ant-Man, Harden, Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker, and then Norman Powell. Norman Powell making the top 10. On the Eastern Conference, you got Giannis, Jason Tatum, Karl Anthony Towns, Paolo Banchero at 4, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, the Franz, the Wagner, Joel Embiid, Paul George, which is hilarious. Paul George being the top 10 just shows you how dumb we all are. T. Charles says LaMelo audience will vote more. I'll vote once, but I'm over 40. Hell yeah, me too, brother. And then the guards, like I said, LaMelo Ball leading the way is hilarious. Followed by Donovan Mitchell, Dame Time, Jalen Brunson, Trae Young, Cade Cunningham, Maxey, Poole, Hero, and White. To me, the things that stick out, like I don't like. Guys, is Kyrie Irving an all-star this year? That was the other thing we talked about. Kyrie has been kind of, in my opinion, I know he cooked on Christmas. I feel like those games are the exception, not the rule this year. I know he's averaging over 20, but there's a lot of guys averaging over 20. I don't really know if Kyrie gets it. I don't know if he should get in there. The other things that I thought were surprising, Andrew Wiggins still getting that many votes is hilarious. Yeah, Embiid and two Sixers being on this list in the front court is pretty funny, considering just like how little Embiid has played and how poorly Paul George has played. But I think there's an interest. Paulo's played 5 games. Yeah, Paulo playing 5 games is great. Jordan Poole more votes than Darius Garland. But my biggest thing, how is Jalen Brunson 4th in guard voting? 4th in guard voting, and then overall, what is he? He's behind LaMelo Mitchell, Dame. He's behind Giannis, Tatum, Cat, and Paolo. He's behind Cat, his own teammate. He's behind SGA, Luka, Steph, Kyrie, and then he's behind Joker, KD, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Wembanyama. Like, where are the Knicks fans, man? Where's the big media? Where's the big market? The New York City, the Bing Bong Boys. Go get your boy. Get Brunson in there. Brunson's been great. The Knicks really have been awesome. And they're a super fun watch too. You're saying surprise Trey was 5. Yeah, that. I mean, listen, guys. I hate to do this. Atlanta's fun, man. Atlanta's a fun team. I enjoy watching them play basketball. I enjoy it quite a bit. Brunson's numbers are lower this season, although the team is better. Yeah, but they're not like bad. Yeah, he's got more. Kyrie's got more votes than him. And Brunson's numbers are better than Kyrie. I have Knicks fans in my family, and they still say they'd rather have done. Well, you can't talk to them anymore. That's a bad basketball take, all around bad basketball take. Listen. I'm a family over everything, except when they have takes like that. I think you gotta disassociate. I think the real thing that we have to talk about is the All-Star game just doesn't matter, and we get all worked up and talk about it for a couple of weeks, and then we all complain about the game itself. I think this is just what happens when you have fans vote. Fans are dumb. Fans are dumb, myself included. But I thought it was wild that LaMelo was the leading vote getter. I mean, I know he's fun. If fantasy, sure, man. Fantasy, why not? But on the guards is crazy. Can we find a way to make Wemby the starter? Yeah, I don't know if he'll get enough votes. France famously doesn't show up when it matters. Shout out the Wars. I don't know what we're doing here. I could see him catching Anthony Davis, but I like Jokic, KD, and LeBron are going to be in there. But Wemby's going to be at the All-Star game. It's going to be fun. The media doesn't have, yeah, I know they do too. Let's go back to around the league. Let's just poke around, see what else is cooking here. We'll go to some of the other games last night. I did watch a lot of the Lakers game because I had a nice little sweat with Austin Reeves, and man, Austin Reeves like cooked in the first half and then really took the rest of the game off. I know he had a double-double, but it was a frustrating one. I'm surprised you didn't pull up to play chess. Dude, I would have, man. I was in Massachusetts then. I was in Massachusetts. Couldn't get there. The rest of the games last night. Let's talk about Celtics in Minnesota. Celtics did a Celtic-y thing where they almost gave this away late. Really impressive win by Boston on the road. It's the beginning of a 4-game stretch that's pretty tough. They have Houston tonight. No Jaylen Brown in this game. No Kristaps Porzingis. So Sammy Hauser said, "Let me chuck." Took 11 shots, all 3 of them behind the arc. He knocked down 5 of them. So you know how many points that is. That's 15. Jason Tatum was awesome, man. 33 points, 9 dimes, 8 boards. Really like some good playmaking stuff from him in the second half, specifically in the third quarter when Minnesota was storming back. Peyton Pritchard, like 9 points, 4 dimes in this game. I thought he was kind of exposed a little bit by that Minnesota defense. I don't think it's a great matchup for him. Derek White, he knocked down 5 triples. He finished at 26. Drew Holiday had a really good game. It doesn't look like it stat-wise, only 11 points and 8 dimes, but it just felt like he was everywhere. I thought something that was pretty impressive by the Celtics in this game was the 10 offensive rebounds. It felt like a lot more, but when you're going against Rudy and Nas and the bigs of Minnesota, you would think they'd get out rebounded quite a bit. And the rebound numbers ended up being 31-30 with the edge to Boston there. Nas Reed had a really good game. Nas, who was kind of off to a slow start, has been coming on strong lately. He had 20 points in this one. Was a fun one. was a fun one for Nas anyways, for those Nas Reed enjoyers. Minnesota's been kind of weird. So Anthony Edwards in this game, 2 for 9 from 3, 5 for 16 from the field. He finished with 15 points. This was a Julius Randle game, which I feel like we haven't done a drop because I've been yelling so much, but I'll do a little regular season Randle.
Regular season Randall.
Randall, yeah, he cooked there. 27, 8, and 7 on 9 for 16 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3. But after the game, Anthony Edwards basically, do you guys remember that clip from an offseason where I think they were doing some offseason workout? Devin Booker was getting doubled and then started complaining that he was getting doubled, that he was trying to get a workout in. That's kind of what Ant-Man was saying last night after the game, where he was like, I just want to get my shots in. I want to score. I'm a scorer. I'm a scorer first. And then was like, I'm only 22. Like, I'm young. I didn't think Anthony Edwards said any lies there. I think that all of what he said made sense. And I think one of the things that comes with someone as candid and charismatic as Ant-Man is that, like, we praise him when he says stuff that, like, makes us laugh, that's honest too. Like, we want those honest clips. But then when he says something that, like, again, was pretty honest and candid, I think when it doesn't land in the way that some of the other stuff lands, we like point to immaturity, which I think there can be truth to that as well. I think that was like some immaturity seeping through, but I like it. I'm here for it, man. I want more people to give us like less canned responses, you know? I like that Ant-Man had a brutal shooting night. Boston swarmed him defensively and was still doing that without JB and KP. And he, after the game, was like, yeah, man, that sucked. I want to get some shots in. Like, I'm a scorer. Let me cook. Like that. I love that. I love that. I do think, I think Weisberg was right that if Jimmy Butler's like meltdown didn't happen post game, that we might be talking about this a little bit more, but Jimmy's going to lead all conversations there. Yeah, Boston Bay said he was fined $100K for the other night. Harrison Fagan, shout out Harrison Fagan. He had a hilarious tweet that was like alternate headline. This was as he got fined, the announcement of him getting fined $100K. He said alternate headline. Maybe Anthony Edwards loves to give to charity. And I was like, that's a great take. Great take. Minnesota, I will say, like, I know they're kind of all over the place right now at 17 and 16, same record as the Golden State Warriors, playing a little bit better. Dante DiVincenzo, I know he only had 12 last night. He's kind of woken up a little bit. I think Jaden McDaniels was playing a little bit better. He knocked down 4 threes. I still kind of think Minnesota has some upside, but not the same upside of what we saw last year. I feel like they've taken a step back defensively. They've taken a step back offensively. They don't have the same vibes that they had before. Weisberg said, to be fair to Ant, you'd be annoyed playing with Randall too. It's kind of funny. Two guys who also don't like passing are stuck playing with each other with awful spacing. Yeah, spacing is tough right now for this team. We'll have to, I don't know. I'm not writing them off yet. I'm not writing Minnesota off yet. But anyways, good win for the Celtics, who have been kind of in a funk lately. I'm not in a funk where I'm like concerned, but they've definitely, taken their foot off the gas. They were like, hey, we're champs. It's January. We're fine. I'm curious if last night was a little bit more of a rest. A little bit more of a rest for JB and KP. I know Kristaps said he was close to coming back, and they were like, maybe we can beat this Minnesota team, not full strength, and then we'll send everybody out tomorrow against the Rockets. Or does Tatum sit tonight because they're like, now it's your turn to rest? I'll be curious to see how they approach that. Speaking of Houston, DJ Local said, you see the Cam Whitmore interview, had one of his best games and seemed down. Yeah, I think, what did he say? He was like, yeah, I basically didn't play any of the first or any of the third quarter, and was just kind of like bummed out, even though he's finally getting more minutes. And I was trying to like come from, I wonder if Cam Whitmore sees that Tari Eason is missing time right now, and Amon Thompson suspended. So in his mind, he's like, this is my time to shine. I finally have come back from the G League. I'm working my way into the rotation. I'm going to get more minutes to prove that I belong in the regular rotation, right? And then what ends up happening is the minutes were shrunk a little bit. And even though he's playing well, he's not seeing more minutes come. And I think he probably expressed a little frustration. I did like Ime Udoka's response after. I don't know if you saw that clip going around. I think it was with like a local Houston radio. And they asked him about the Cam Whitmore comments. And he's basically like, I want my players to express themselves. And I will say everything that I say like in a press conference to them directly as well. I think Ime, like, listen, off the court stuff in Boston, who knows what the hell happened. But when he was coaching, clearly he motivated his guys in a way that worked. And it seems like Houston's playing well. Cam Whitmore's playing better. And I don't know, maybe this is like the start of something for Cam Whitmore, but we'll have to see. Weisberger saying, look at the shooting numbers for the Wolves, 50, 53, 90, and you lose. Celtics were over 24. Yeah, that's impressive. Good win for the Celtics. Deep Threat bought a rare bird on the 4th of December. Why would he do that? I don't know. Shout out to Deep Threat, though. Miss him. Anyways, good win for the Beantown boys. We'll see how they look tonight against Houston on their back-to-back. In a surprising turn of events, the Brooklyn Nets, who I tweeted out they were tanking, and my co-host of Hoop Sense, Trey, pushed back on that, and then shared a good tweet that I don't have pulled up that I'll look for later. But Brooklyn took it to Milwaukee. Milwaukee came storming back in the last 6 minutes of the game to make this a closer game, but the Nets were up like pretty handily throughout most of the game. Cam Johnson dropped 26. They got 24 from Cam Thomas. D'Lo left the game with an injury, but not before putting up a double-double with 11 and 12. D'Lo's looked good in his first 2 games. Giannis statistically looked good, but a lot of this came down the stretch. 3 for 10 from the free throw line is brutal. Finished the game with 27, 13, and 7. Dame had 23 and 7. They got like 15 from Bobby P and 10 from Gary Trent Jr. Milwaukee now 17 and 15. The Nets get another win, even though they're trading away all their guys. And then OKC rolled over the Clippers. I don't think we have to talk about that too much. No Harden. Cam's injury. Cam's back. Cam was back. Nets 3-0 over the Bucks is hilarious. That's really funny. And then the Lakers got a win last night. No Anthony Davis. LeBron was awesome from 3 last night. Went 7 for 10. Finished the game with 38 and 8. Austin Reeves, who we were talking about, had almost triple-double, 15, 11, and 8. And then Max Christie, career night for him. He knocked down 5 triples. He finished at 28. Dorian Finney-Smith now on the team playing 24 minutes. They play tonight as well. Should be a fun one. Let's look at the, I forget who, Atlanta. They play Atlanta tonight. Looking at the standings quickly here. Cleveland, man, just continue to beat the piss out of everybody. Just real impressive stuff from the Cavs. They're 29 and 4. Celtics, a game lead over the Knicks now after last night's win. They're 25 and 9 with the Knicks at 24 and 10. Then there's a big gap between the 3 and the 4 seed because Orlando is just decimated by injuries, but still somehow 5 games over 500. And then the Bucks and the 5 seed and the Miami Heat, both 17 and 15. And then at A-Town down, the Atlanta Hawks, they're 2 games over 500. Pacers are just 1 game under 500. And then the Detroit Pistons, who again, brutal freaking injury from the from Jaden Ivey. I hope he gets better soon, man. That sucked. But the Pistons now 15 and 18, and the Chicago Bulls 15 and 19. Followed by the Sixers, Nets, Raps, Hornets, and Wizards. Wizards, baby, 3 and 7 in their last 10. Pool party. The West Side, Oklahoma City Thunder, they're also running away with this division, this conference, 28 and 5. They've now won 13 in a row, and you want to know why? Because the NBA Finals Cup does not count as a game, which is just hilarious to see them on a win streak, even though we know they lost in Vegas. Then you get the Grizz, who somehow don't play their starters more than 3 games in a row, or 23 and 11. Rockets are 22 and 11. Nuggets, who it doesn't feel like they're playing well, are right now in the 4 seed here at 19 and 13, 7 and 3 in their last 10. And listen, you guys know I root for Jamal Murray so much, so take this take with a grain of salt. Jamal Murray looks back. He's got a little bounce in his step, knocking down the shot. They seemed, even without Aaron Gordon, who's missed a handful of games, the vibes seem like they're turning a corner in Denver. Dallas desperately needs Luka to come back. They've lost 3 in a row, 4 and 6 in their last 10. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Kyrie, I feel like Kyrie has not looked good this year, but maybe I'm just looking at my fantasy stuff too much. Lakers and Clippers, they're at the 6-7 seed with a game and a half to 2 game lead over what the Timberwolves, Warriors, and Spurs, all 17 and 16. And now you see the Suns are game and a half out of the 10 seed. Crazy. Followed by the Kings, Blazers, Jazz, and Pellies. Let's look at tonight's games quickly, and then I'm going to pop over to Underdog and then pop over to SORARE. We'll check that stuff out and then wrap up here. So tonight we got some fun ones here. Pacers and no, that was last night. Excuse me. It's Friday. Charlotte against Detroit. LaMelo's questionable. Hopefully he's back. O-Town, Orlando against Toronto. Hey, Emmanuel Quickly. Welcome back. glad Emmanuel Quickly's playing basketball. 8 o'clock, though, Celtics-Rockets is going to be a lot of fun. Wizards-Pelicans, a battle of who could care less. Shut up, Ben Folds 5. Then you get the Bing Bong Boys against OKC. Brunson's questionable. Hopefully he plays OKC on a back-to-back, but they didn't really have to try last night. Cleveland and Dallas. San Antonio at Denver, Wemby versus Joker, Memphis and Sacramento. This is going to have a fuck ton of points, 239.5 totals fun. And then A-Town and the Lakers, and hopefully AD is back. Let me catch up on the chat here. I know I missed some stuff. What happened to Norman Powell? Hopefully he gets to the All-Star game because we talked about that too much. I think, last night, dude, I just think that matchup was brutal. OKC is just so good defensively. Just a tough matchup, and especially no Thunder. Cam Johnson, the Nets' most consistent player all season, got hurt in the second. Oh, I missed that. I missed the Cam Johnson injury. Cavs play the Thunder twice in the next week and a half. Those will be good games. Excited for that. No, I think Cleveland finishes as the 1 seed in the regular season anyways. Grizz also run fewest pick and rolls in the league by a wide margin. How much does that have to do with John Morant not playing, though? I mean, John Morant's barely played. What else we got? I'm back buying tickets this time. Wizards New Orleans for everyone, too. That's nice. That's nice. Was a very interesting thinking basketball video that dove in on the Grizz offense. Oh, nice. I'll have to go check that out. All right, let's go over to Underdog quickly here. We had a fun sweat last night in the dog lobby. Also, real quick, I don't know. Can we see best ball here in the NFL? Did that? Yeah. Let's go, just real quick. What a sick sweat, huh? What a sick sweat. I know I talked about it on Monday because it was before Monday Night Football. We finished 4th for 17,180. 4th in the pit bull, baby. We were so close to being called and crowned Mr. Worldwide, winning the pit bull. We finished with 180 points. It was kind of nuts, man, because if you told me Amon-Ra St. Brown, who for me, my team started accruing points once he got over 5.7, he finished with 16. If you told me he was going to get 16, I thought I was going to be winning 50K. But what ended up happening was freaking Jamison Williams went for 22 fantasy points, which really hurt. Did not see that coming, but no complaints from me. Finishing 4th for 17K. It was a really sick hit for me, and I'm more of a hoops bro. So to have a sweat in the finals with the Pitbull was a lot of fun. So shout out Jaden Daniels taking that game to overtime, and Kyle Pitts. That was a fun one. That was a very fun one. So we love that. And then last night in hoops action, we had a fun sweat here and Austin Reeves, again, just kind of taking the night off here. We finished 14th for 900 with Giannis, Reeves, Halliburton, Randall, Derek White, and D'Lo. But this one was storming up, and then Reeves just like sat out just was tough. I think he scored 2.2 fantasy points in the 4th quarter. So that was tough. But fun slates last night. We've got a couple of good contests, but let's build a pick 'em. Let's build a pick 'em for tonight. Anybody got any strong takes this morning for some pick'ems? I haven't looked too much at my stuff yet, but I'm really interested in this Atlanta game. I'm really with the Lakers. I feel like we're going to get a lot of points, and then Sacramento, Memphis, I think is a fun one to figure out. I feel like also something about the Pellies against the Wizards. I don't know. Maybe we finally get the DeJounte Murray game. I'm not really sure, but what do you guys have for me? You've been knocking out some MLB best balls. So DJ Local, I was just talking to our guy G Dunn to try to get him in on that. So, all right, I'm gonna start here. Let's figure some stuff out here with this Sacramento Kings game. Also, we've got a 25% profit boost, so we're gonna apply that as well. Let's look at the Kings. I think Sabonis 15.5 boards is so many, right? But I feel like we need that. I feel like we need that. What is this? What fight is this? Let's find some stuff here. Desmond Bane over 21.5. What's his 3-pointers? 2.5 threes. What if we get Desmond Bane up to 3? What if Desmond Bane knocks down 3 threes in this game? Or is that 4? What did I just pick? 4 threes. 4 threes for 1.27x. How many threes does Jaren Jackson Jr. need to hit? 1.5? What if he hit 3 threes? What a 3-point brigade here? That's kind of fun. And let's find a Kings. Let's run this back. Fox has been playing a little bit better. Keon Ellis is out there quite a bit here. 1.5 dimes for Keon kind of feels fun. That feels okay. Triple-double. Fuck yes. Let's go. Cade triple-double. Now we're talking. We love the Cade Cunningham triple-double bet. What's the boost here? What is the boost for this? 6. Oh my God. Look at this. 78x. Yes. Okay. I got to put this in my phone because I don't think it's going to let me. That's 10. You know what? No, we're going to live a little. We're going to put 25 on it. 25. Is that going to let me do it? Or is it going to be like VPN? Yeah, of course. All right. So for the people listening, because I'm not going to be able to share the link, ready? We're doing a Cade Cunningham triple double, which is a 6.4x. We're going for all the marbles in this one. We're going for all the marbles. And then Bane, we're going to slide the Desmond Bane 3-pointers here to 3.5. So he has to hit 4. And then we're going to slide the triple Jarens, his 3-pointers. We're going to have him hit 3 in this game. And then again, we're going to apply the 25% boost if you have it. But if you don't, it's still like 62x there. Boost number 3. Let's do it. We're going to put 25 to win 1950. Holy moly. We love that. We love that. It's not a fight. It's a photo shoot. Hell yeah. All right, let's this is a bomb. This is a fun one. Good call on the triple double. Let me go over to SORARE too quickly. Just a reminder too, live before lock tonight, which is a lot of fun. We had a decent game week here. I believe we won 6 or 4 rewards, maybe. We won some cash here, but let's look. We got a 5-star box from the limited champ 1. We had Jokic dropping 98 with the Goon, Vasily Micic, Trae Young, and Trace Jackson Davis. We also got a 4-star for limited contender while getting a 0 from Trevlin Queen, who got ruled out. We had 58 from Bridges, 46 from Hartenstein, 47 from Din Chitty, and then Caleb Martin with 38. And then in the rare streets, both of our champions scored. So we finished 69th. Nice. And 60th. The 69th one was Dinwiddie again, Paul George, Jared Allen, Giannis, and Bam Adebayo. And then rare champ 2, Mark Williams, dude. Shout out Mark Williams. Mark Williams and Khalil Ware, baby. It's your time to shine. Followed by Bane, Suggs it up, AD, and PJ Washington play the drop. But let's do the result. Let's get some rewards. Let's get some rewards, baby. Bum, bum, bum. Also, Jordan Santaga in the chat. Love to see it. All right, let me blow this up a little bit here. So here we go. 50 in cash. 4 boxes, 50 in cash. Go to the boxes. To the box. All right, let's do limiteds first here. And we won $50, so that's sick too. Sick as hell. All right, limited box number 1. What did we get? Essence. 5x Essence there. Close to crafting in the rares, by the way. So we might be crafting this episode. Let's see. Essence. All right, so we picked up 10 limited Essence. That's fine. That's fine. Let's do the rare. This is a 4-star box. Whoa, Matic Auto, gift in 10. Let's go. Thank you, Matic Auto. That was generous of you, bro. 3. Okay, that's boring. 3 rare Essence is not fun. That's not what we wanted. Another 4-star. Let's see what we got in this one. Come on. Give me the rare bones. 7. All right. So we picked up 10 rare Essence. Let's do an Essence check here. We're up to 21 limited because we crafted recently, and 88 rare, and then 25 super rare. So we get a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff. Dude, Matic Auto, that was sick, man. That was sick. Thank you. Thank you for gifting that. Okay, real quick. Listen. This is what we got for the rest of the day. If you're on the Elite Fantasy Hoops channel and you are one of the VIP members, we have a show at 1:30 p.m. We're going to be breaking down all the daily ranks on Underdog, doing some SORARE stuff as well. Then at 4 p.m. on this channel, the 89 Cavs are back. Justin and Steve laughing a little bit while talking some hoops and some LiAngelo ball. That's right. You heard that, LiAngelo ball. And then at 5 p.m., live before lock on the Elite Fantasy Hoops channel, we're breaking down this weekend's game week on SORARE NBA. And then 7 p.m. for the VIPs, live after dark. So we got a busy ass week. Also, if you are, I think Common Man, you might be the last one, but if you won on fantasy football, shoot me your PayPal so we can hook you up. Oh yeah, and then Celtics Rockets live tonight at 8 p.m. Also, real quick before you guys go, please go check out today. I want to make sure it's not out yet. The new episode of Hoop Sense on the Count the Dings YouTube channel that drops, I think, at noon today. So go check that out. I just dropped the link in the show notes. In the chat. Leave that on loop this weekend. We need to boost those views. Okay, we need to boost those views. Win some Acuna and Mets talk. I'm going to try to get into Underdog Best Ball. So I don't know if I can dive all the way into SORARE MLB yet. But Underdog Best Ball, I told G Dunn, time to come out of retirement. It's time to cook. But appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. This was a fun one. It was nice to yell a little bit. So shout out Bobby and T. Charles getting me all worked up. And then shout out Jimmy Butler just for being a diva and making it work, giving us the content. We'll see you guys a little bit later this afternoon. We out, skis.